How strong is your faith? Welcome to Seeking God with Leah Klein, Health and Wholeness Coach. And our verse for today, or actually kind of part of a verse, is Isaiah 7, 9b. So the latter part of the verse. If you are not firm in faith, you will not be firm at all. Let me say that again. If you are not firm in faith, you will not be firm at all. Is your faith feeling a little shaky? Sometimes that looks like, not trusting God to provide, or not trusting that God's in control. Even when things are crazy, and I'm not saying you don't do your part when it's applicable, but much of the time there is, in our world around us, there isn't a lot we can do control. We may think we can control some things closer to us, but even that is debatable. And we certainly have little control over the government or things that happen there. Yes, vote. But ultimately, it's in God's hands. And when things like that, or things like financial upheaval, are causing you to feel like, oh, maybe the world's going to hell in a handbasket or something, to use an expression, then I would encourage you to take a step back. One is, in that moment, you were actually not trusting God. You can say that you trust God all the livelong day, that you believe God, but our faith is proved by our actions. And if you're worried and you're uptight about things, then you're not really trusting. Down in here, in your heart, you're not really trusting. You may say up here that you're trusting and that you believe, but it matters what's down in your heart. And before you go start to work on your faith, I want you to also remember where faith comes from. Faith is a gift from God. As it says in Ephesians 2:8, for by grace you have been saved through faith, but this is not your own doing, it is a gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no one can boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works that God has prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. And that grace, that is all a gift. And if you back up a few verses to, it also further says, by grace you have been saved. It's a gift. It's a gift of God. That means you didn't create it and you can't lose it. And if you're struggling with that area, where you need to go is where it came from. So if you're struggling to trust, if you're struggling with your faith, if you need that faith to be stronger, as we are called to do in our or Isaiah verse 7, 9, if you want to be firm in your faith, like Ephesians 6 is another passage that talks about standing firm. You need to go back to God and go, God, I am not trusting. Confess, I am not trusting. I am not fully trusting you in this situation, and I need you, God, to strengthen my faith, because I can't do this on my own. Because he has things for you to do. He has those good works prepared in advance for you to do. And things he wants to do through you. But he is going to do the work through you. This is not something you go out and do. Just like your faith is a gift. Thank him for that gift. And pray, ask God to strengthen your faith. Because that is a prayer that he wants to answer. He wants you to be stronger in your faith. And sometimes the means he uses to strengthen your faith is a lot of suffering and hardship and things not going correctly, where your version of correctly, let's put it that way. And you getting all uptight basically because you've lost control of the situation. Any other control freaks out there? Or is that just me? I really hate it when things are out of my control. And I doubt if I'm alone in that. It's something that part of that confession is relinquishing the control we think we have back to God and going, okay, I know you got a plan. I know you're working through all of this, that this is temporary. God, strengthen me to go through this. Remove if possible, but strengthen me in the process. Strengthen me to go through with what God's will is. Think the Garden of Gethsemane. That was basically what Jesus was praying. He was saying, not his will, but God's. But he was praying for strength because he knew what was coming and knew as a physical human body that he also was, besides being God, that it was going to hurt a heck of a lot, more than we can possibly imagine. And he did that for us. So remember that when you start equating your current situation to being crucified. Probably back it off a little bit, because I doubt if your situation's that bad. There are some people that are going through some really bad situations in the world, but most of them would not be listening to this video. So ask God to strengthen your faith. And if you're having trouble feeling his presence, let me show you maybe why that might be happening and how to connect more deeply with him with my free ebook, Seeking God. And the link for that is above or below the video, and also an email if you came from an email that I sent out. It's healthturnaroundcoaching.com/seeking-God. And to wrap up our time, I want to sing How Firm a Foundation. Feel free to sing along. Many should know this. This one's been around a very long time and is a very well-known hymn. So And it's talking about God being our firm foundation that we can stand on. So go ahead and join me. How firm a foundation, ye saints of the Lord, is laid for your faith in his excellent word. What more can he say than to you he hath said? To you who for refuge to Jesus have fled. Fear not, I am with thee, O be not dismayed, for I am thy God, and will still give thee aid. I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my righteous, omnipotent hand. When through fiery trials thy pathway shall lie, my grace all sufficient shall be thy supply. The flame shall not hurt you, I only design thy gold dross to consume, and thy gold to refine. The soul that on Jesus had leaned for repose, I will not desert to his foes. That soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake, I'll never, no, never, no, never forsake. Let that be your prayer today. And I will see you next week with another verse.